All right, beautiful people. I am so delighted to be having this conversation today with a very special person. I'll get into that in just a minute, but overall purpose of this conversation, we're calling it Straight Talk, No Chaser, right? This is like conversation about government contracting, why it's relevant. We're right here in the ATL, so we want to make sure we talk about why Atlanta is a relevant place to start really looking at and starting to drill deeper into government contracting. I'm going to give you guys a quick funny story. A couple of years ago, I had the privilege of attending and actually sitting on a panel with at another summit called the Millie CEO Summit in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out Bobby there. And when I sat there, got up at the panel, and I thought I was going to be the only person talking about government contracting. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm starting to talk. And then there was this, really solid person sitting. I believe she was to my right, and started talking. She was talking about government contracting as well. So I look over to my right, and it's Miss Paula Watson, right? And I'm sorry, Miss Paula Watts. And so I got there. We were having the conversation. I was super excited to just see another person that really understood government contracting, right? And so fast forwarding to 2026. I was at the Atlanta Black Chamber Tuesday Talks. I was talking about the upcoming Humanizing Government Contracting Summit that's scheduled to take place March 26, 2026. So in a few weeks, guys, make sure you're getting your tickets at govconsummits.com. But essentially, when I saw that I was talking on that, I received a message from Ms. Paula in the chat just saying, hey, I'm inside this Tuesday talk. I said, whoa, is this the same person that I was so impressed by when we actually had, the panel some years ago. So coming full circle, I have the distinguished honor and privilege to introduce to all of you, for those that don't know her and those that do, it's a hello again to Miss Paula Watts. Paula, how are you today?
I am wonderful. Glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the GovCon Summit. And glad to begin the education of those who don't know about this space.
Exactly. So, so folks that haven't, met Paula yet, or I'm going to say Miss Watts. Actually, what should I call you? Should I say Miss Watts, or would you prefer Paula? Which one do you prefer?
Somewhere when I became seasoned as a baby boomer, I became Miss Paula. So whatever.
Okay. I love it. All right. So I'm going to say Miss Paula. So as far as government contracting, just walk us through, your experience in government contracting and how it's gotten you to where you are today.
All right. I like to say I grew up in this space. Originally from Asheville, North Carolina. After college, I went to Washington, D.C., and my first job was with a company that was a part of the 8A program, doing event planning. And for me, that was the perfect job. It was like, you mean the government's going to hire me to plan parties? And I got to take the world at work. Right. But I knew at 25 that I wanted to own my own business. So I ended up attaching myself to one contract that was a part of that program. And every 3 years, I went through 5 companies before I started my first business in '96. So I'm dating myself. I'm the boomer here. And in business, I received my first $1 million contract. Second year, I applied into the A-Day, received another $3 million, and grew it in 5 years to almost $15 million in contracts and almost 40 employees, and didn't have a clue what I was doing. I went from a project manager to running a multi-million-dollar company with 40 employees with 2 business partners, one who felt like he could run his expenses through the business. And then I ended up auditing his credit card, terminating him. He conspired with 2 employees to sue me and the other partner for sexual harassment. These are the things that people don't teach small businesses when you're starting out, So after $125,000 in attorney fees, $100,000 to buy them out, I had no more operating cash. So it really did push me to my passion to make sure nobody went through what I went through. So strategically positioned myself as a SCORE counselor, which is a resource partner of SBA. And after I ran out of money, applied for a position with SBA. And what most people don't realize, SBA is such a major factor in this equation.
Yeah.
And what I realized working with SBA, no one at SBA has ever run a business, nor the resource partners. So you have people from both sides. You have government consultants who may be contracting officers, or they may be former government contractors, or you that may have never run a business. So you have people at SBA that don't want to run a business. So to me, it made sense to bring everybody together and not have it information based and understanding it's enough out here for everyone. And I'm always preaching collaboration. So that's why I'm so glad that you didn't think of me as competition, right? We immediately came together. Let's see how we can work this out to get the better word out on this GovCon Summit conference on March 26th here in Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I have to echo that. In Atlanta, we all know Atlanta can be a little cliquish at times. Remember, this is straight talk, and understanding that, it really does take a few of us that really get it, to understand the value of collaboration and making sure that we're able to, work together, build meaningful businesses together, and also be a helping hand to those that have come behind us, right? So when I think of the word humanizing, first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Humanizing IT, because they're actually a group that I did some training with some years ago. I got a chance to get certified through them. And when they were doing it, it was more so for like service delivery management. And so I said, well, government could use this as well, right? So I talked to them. We talked about some stuff. I said, look, we got to apply this thing to government. And realistically, when I say, humanizing government, it really is looking at finding ways to simplify all of the red tape, all of the jargon, all of the good old boy, kind of scenario that you'll see sometimes in government, and really make it attainable for everybody, right? And so a little bit about the history of how this summit came about. It's much bigger than me. It's much bigger than Oscar. I just happen to be the person that put the people together and the names together. But realistically, we were doing some cohorts over the last several years, and we were seeing a bit of a theme, right? It's like people are really afraid of the government. It's almost like they're not sure how to even get started, what the first steps need to be. And so in putting together these summits, it's like it gives you an opportunity to get the best and brightest into one room, one day only. We're not going to take up all of your time, a couple of hours of your day. You learn from folks that really, really have done this in the industry, right? And then you get a chance to mix and mingle with those that you can lock in with from a group economic standpoint and be able to make something remarkable for our city. Now, I'm not a native ATLian, right? I'm not a native, but I've been here for 8 years, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of people decide to come to ATL and they kind of want to thrive, but they do stuff outside of the city. It's time we start to bring things back inside of our city. So for someone that's going to come in and listen, to you, Ms. Paula, when they are going to attend this summit, what are some of the things that they can anticipate that you may talk about or that you may touch upon?
Having the experience, I like to say, in my adult years growing up in the DMV area, and I was hired at SBA in 2008 in Philadelphia, relocated here to Atlanta in 2012. And the same as you, the common theme that I began to see was people outside of that DMV area had no clue. You had 1,700 businesses registered specifically in that 8A program. Mm-hmm. You come here, and Georgia is only 100 right now, since all what's been going on with the current administration. There's 145 businesses in that program. And to me, it's no competition here. You have 5 military bases and you have CDC.
Yeah.
Government buys everything. But
That's right.
also what I realized, people entering in this space, especially from the commercial side, they're entering with a different perspective. They're trying to fit their product or service in with the agency.
Yeah.
So the GPI way is, let's look at the budget and see what the government is buying each fiscal year. And now we're creating a sustainable business model based on what the government is buying, not necessarily on our skill set.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes a ton of sense. And so I'm excited for people to hear that, and talk to us a little bit more about GPI. Like obviously your extensive expertise is what I'm going to imagine what started it. But I'd love to learn, like, what if someone were to go to your site right now and look at some of the things that you're doing, what are some of the things that they can look forward to understanding more about GPI?
While we even complement each other, I'm on the front end. I'm having worked at SBA for 7 years. What I realized in working with their resource partners, everybody said, go get registered in SAM, get this certification. So they do all of that. And it's like, now what? So what I did when I left SBA in 2015 is combine SBA with the business side and created templates from that first business and teach people the process. It's not necessarily information based. So we have a 15-week training program that literally takes you step by step through the process of getting certified. A lot of small businesses, even though they become LLCs or they're S or C corporation, do they really have the right documentation? They don't know what SBA is looking for when they start applying into those programs. So we want to make sure that you understand the business side of getting in this space. I don't want you to just jump in contract space, because if you mess up, what happens, Oscar?
Yeah, that's right. You only get one shot. Yeah.
Play.
That's right. Yeah. I totally agree. And I'm excited for that. I really am. And I want people to go out to GPI.com and make sure that you learn about the people that are going to be in the room. It's definitely.
It's GPIwin.com.
GPIwin.com. Yeah. Make sure you go out there and you check them out, because the people that are going to be in the room, like, they're there for a reason. They're not just there to just talk and leave, right? A lot of these folks have their own organizations, their own businesses that can really help you in your growth trajectory across the government space. It's not just federal. So in the room, we're not going to only be having, federal talk. Only there'll be folks that will be talking about state and local government as well. As we know, with FIFA coming soon, to the Atlanta area, there may still be some, procurement opportunities. There may not be a lot left, right? But there's still some that are out there. And it's going to be important to understand the procurement life cycle. It's going to be so critical. So when you get into the room, work the room, make sure that you're learning about other people. And I'll tell you what, since you're listening to this and you're tuned in, if you've gotten to it this long, we're going to give you a treat. If you go out to GovConSummits.com, that's GovConSummits.com, and it should be at the top of the, you probably can see at the top of the screen here. But if you go out to the GovConSummits.com, and when you're going down to checkout, whether you're buying an early bird ticket, or you're buying a general admission, or you're buying a sponsorship slot, if you use the word GPI, so that's gorilla, potato, indigo, if you use that at checkout, you're going to get 25% off of your ticket, okay? So just GPI at the end, you go to the coupon area, type in GPI, and you can get 25% off. You probably can see one of our other codes. It's only a few more minutes left. Looks like some folks are already buying a lot of the tickets right now. If you go also out there, you should see a register now button right over to your left or right, depending on what type of screen you're using right now. You'll see another icon that's going to also be giving you an additional discount as well to attend this summit. We're super excited to have you be a part of GovConSummits.com coming up. The official name of the summit is Humanizing Government Contracting Summit 2026. It's right in the heart of Buckhead, Atlanta area. You know, those that have been here for a long time, we still call Buckhead Atlanta, but at the same time, it is Buckhead. And I encourage you to go out and learn the area because it's going to be at the Modex Studio. The Modex Studios right there in Buckhead. They do a lot of the TED Talks and TEDx type talks in there. Just a phenomenal space owned by just a beautiful soul of a spirited sister that's right here in Atlanta. Again, thank you all so much for listening to us today. Ms. Paula, thank you. Not just for this conversation, but for what I know you're about to do for the people that will be in the room on March 26, 2026. Ms. Paula, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And as you said,
right.
It's bigger than all of us. It's not about you or me. And for me,
That's right.
It's about passing the baton and making sure you all get it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right, you all. Until next time, we'll be talking to y'all soon.
All right.